What's up, y'all? My name is Aaron Mallory, aka Mr. Let Go, and today we're about to discuss the question: does women's intuition actually exist, or is it just a saying? You're going to be surprised by my answer. Alright, if you're new to my channel, I teach people how to let go of what is no longer serving their best interests by uncovering the psychological reasons why men and women do what they do. And yes, today is about the women. Did you hit the like button? Make sure to hit the like button before we get started, because you know once you get into the video, you're going to forget all about it. So hit the like button and let's go. So what exactly is women's intuition? There is no women's intuition. There is just intuition. See, there is nothing special about a woman's way of discerning what's going on. You know, there's no spidey sense that women have that men don't have. See, intuition is simply this. There's a hormone called cortisol that comes from your adrenal gland that literally is released into your bloodstream that is meant to tell you that something's wrong. Now, it could be something crazy like you're about to get hit by a bus, or you know, somebody may be cheating on you or something, right? So at the end of the day, there's nothing special about this woman's intuition thing. It's simply cortisol. And guess what, ladies? We all have cortisol. We all have these hormones. There's nothing different about a woman versus a man. And I know a woman has estrogen and progesterone and a man has testosterone, but I would say virtually all of the other hormones are the same. Oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, these are just simply hormones. With all that being said, to a certain degree, there is a vibrational intuition involved in this situation. But like I said, men and women are able to have this same type of intuition. But men, we don't necessarily pay a lot of attention to the details of a situation versus a woman. So this vibrational intuition really is to a woman's advantage. And this is exactly what I mean. When a man and a woman is together, right, they start vibrating at the same wavelength. Have you ever heard when like 3-4 women live in the same house together, at some point they start having the same cycle date, which is kind of weird? Well, this is a vibrational thing. So what ends up happening is with the woman and the man, they begin to vibrate at the same wavelength. And say the man actually starts cheating on her and he spends a significant amount of time with the other woman. Well, what happens is the man begins to vibrate at a different wavelength and the woman can sense it. Now, this isn't necessarily woman's intuition. This is just simply attention to the details of what's going on in the person's situation. You can feel the difference in vibration with the man you're with a lot faster than a man would actually sense it in a woman, because she's naturally paying attention to the small things. There's something a little comical about women's intuition that we have to talk about. All right. The bottom line is, and I can't speak for all of you women, but there's a huge amount of women who would admit that they don't even listen to this woman's intuition that they claim that they have. Now, what's the use of saying you have something special about yourself? You know, you guys think you have this mystical power of intuition, like men don't have it. But what's funny is you don't even listen to it, though. How many of you would admit, put in the comments that you admit that you have, on a normal basis, ignored your woman's intuition? See, here's the thing, because there's a reason why. A lot of you were taught by your mothers that it's not polite to judge another person. So being this non-judgmental person, this agreeable person all of your life, because even since you were a child, a lot of you were this agreeable, non-judgmental young lady. And now you're an adult and you're trained or programmed to not be judgmental. So when you do meet a man and you start seeing all these personality issues, financial issues, and you start seeing him as somebody that is probably never going to marry you, or is not a good father, or is not a good provider, or potentially like has anger issues, what do? Nothing. You stay with them because you don't want to start over. You stay with them because you don't want to be judgmental. Because in essence, you know that you have some issues in your own life also. You portray yourself, not all of you, but some of you portray yourself as good women, right? But you know inside that you're not. You just want to appear to be a good woman. And I actually made a video about the 5 reasons why you may not be a good woman. Is up here somewhere if you want to go watch that. But I want you to take the time to go watch that video and write those 5 reasons down and see what checks off for you and what you need to work on. So once you get to the point where you can check off all 5 things that make you a good woman to us, and that's the key. All of this is about your way of thinking about what's going on in your life and our way of thinking about what's going on in our life, i.e. intuition. Say you get with a guy, right? And one of those 5 things on the list in the video, the 5 reasons why you may not be a good woman, say out of the 5 things, 3 of the things are not necessarily up to par in your life, right? So, but you don't really know this because you just see life from your own point of view and not from a man's point of view, right? So what can actually happen is he would easily see that, all right, she's not good enough for me. And that's a bad word to a lot of women, but overall, we all need improvement, right? So say the 3 things on this list aren't necessarily up to par. Well, his intuition would kick in and he'll literally just not want to be with you anymore and go to another woman. And that next woman, with him using his intuition, he would check off all 5 things and possibly marry her. And you're sitting here thinking like, oh, well, karma is going to get him. Well, he was a narcissist anyway. And next thing you know, you'll just wallow in your own pity instead of sitting here thinking like, you know what? Maybe he used his intuition and seeing that I wasn't necessarily the right woman for him. And it's the bottom line. You can do the same thing if you actually listen to your intuition. Because like I said, there's a huge amount of us that do listen to our intuition. So this women's intuition thing doesn't really make a difference. We all have the same thing. And you don't listen to yours anyway. So bragging about this thing that you have that is so special doesn't make a difference because you don't listen to it. So if you take the time to study yourself, all right, please go watch that video, the 5 reasons why you may not be a good woman, because it's about research. It's important for you to research yourself and research the man that you're potentially dating so you can get a good assessment of your entire situation as a whole. Once you get to the point where you understand him and understand you and where you need to improve on and what your actual standards are, because here's the beautiful thing. Once you improve yourself, your standards go up, and then any guy that isn't necessarily up to par to your present life or your future life where you're trying to go, you'll instantly be able to, here's the thing, listen to your woman's intuition finally and let them go. Because you no longer have that feeling of, all right, I can't judge him for his bad credit or the fact that he doesn't make any money because I don't have any money. I'm broke and I have bad credit. Let me just put it to you like this. One of the reasons why a lot of women don't listen to their woman's intuition that they brag about so much is because it doesn't necessarily work when her self-esteem is low. See, when you don't think highly of yourself, you don't think you deserve certain things. You don't think you deserve a high value man. You don't think you deserve a man that's going to treat you like a queen. So you start settling, and in the back of your mind, you know you're settling and you're fighting with 2 sides of you, because there's one side of you that feels like you're a good woman and you should have all these things. But on the other side of you, you think you're not worthy of a good man and a good man would leave you because some of you have abandonment issues. And the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a situation where you are even more insecure about yourself because of your contrast with you versus the dude. You know, if the dude is somewhat above your level and not on your level, because like I said, if you have a lot of issues in your life, you may start dealing with men that are literally on your level, which makes a lot of sense if you were at a nice level emotionally, physically, and financially. But for whatever reason, you don't want that guy that is on your level because you feel entitled to having a high value man. But like I said, you get with a high value man and your self-esteem starts affecting you, and you start thinking he's cheating, and you checking his phone and you run behind him and you can't get off the phone with him and you drive him away. So when it comes to intuition, you have to get your life together for it to actually work properly. And if you don't get your life together, I mean, getting in the gym, getting your body right, getting therapy or counseling or coaching to get your mind right, get your finances right, get your family situation a little bit more in order, then your self-esteem won't be holding you back. And your self-esteem won't cause your woman's intuition to literally shut off. If you have some issues that you know that are there, but you're ignoring them and you're walking around acting like you're this great woman and you know that you're not, you're subconsciously going to seek out a man that is right there on your level. And what happens is you're not going to utilize your woman's intuition because you can't judge him because you have the same issues as he has. And what happens is you end up having children with, or end up staying with a guy that you don't necessarily want to be with, or you've seen all these red flags and you've ignored for 3 to 5 years and he doesn't marry you and it finally ends. And now you're 5 years older than you were at first, back out here in the world trying to date. And the first thing a lot of women would say is, oh, dating is so different now. No, you are so different now because you're older and now you're possibly more damaged psychologically or emotionally than you were 5 years prior. The dating world may have changed, but you are the main person that actually changed. Your self-esteem has gotten worse instead of better because you got with a guy that was on your level, and your level was at like a 2, where you could have actually improved yourself to get to a 10 and you would have attracted a 10. But if you're a 2 emotionally, a 2 financially, you are going to attract and entertain a guy that is a 2. And your women's intuition is going to automatically shut off because you were taught not to be judgmental and be agreeable, because at the end of the day, that's how you were raised, right? And then there's another thing. When you look at your actual programming, which is the people that raised you, this is another example of how your women's intuition and your non-judgment works. If your mother could not keep a man, if no woman or virtually no woman in your family failed to keep a man, and you're listening to all these different things that these women are telling you, that is messing up your intuition. It's messing up your judgment because your actual programming is flawed, because the people, and I'm saying the word programming is because when you were young, it was all programming that you learned from your parents. And if you seen your mom and she never had a man, or men were in and out, or no man really stayed, well, that's where your actual programming comes from. So your intuition may literally not work at all due to the fact that you know you have a sketchy past. So how can you judge somebody else with a sketchy past? So instead of worrying about whether you listen to your women's intuition or not, the key is to improve yourself so your women's intuition, that doesn't really exist, but it's just intuition, will actually start shutting on and you won't go against it. If you don't improve yourself, your intuition will not work for you. The better your life gets, the better your choices of men will get. And this is not about finances, ladies, because a lot of women will just think because they make a lot of money, they should get a man with a lot of money. No, there's a lot of different things that may be going on in your life non-financially that may be an issue to men. Because like I said, we listen to our intuition and we're out just like that. And next thing you know, you're upset because you gave him a lot of chances. Well, the bottom line is we listen to our intuition and you don't. So if this video helped, do me a couple favors. Like the video, and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with somebody that could use it.